So, good morning, students. So, here today we'll be starting a new chapter that is on introduction on triangles. So, at first, let us know some important concepts and the properties of triangles. So, before beginning to the chapter, let us first know what does this triangle means. Let us go to definition first. What does this triangle means? Triangle means it is a closed shape with three sides. Let me draw the figure. It is a closed shape figure bounded with three respective sides. Let me name it as a triangle. It will be named as ABC. So a triangle is a figure which is a closed shape with three respective sides. Okay. So it has some classification depending on its sides and its angles. Okay. So depending on its sides, it has three classifications, that is equilateral triangle. I hope you have studied in your earlier classes. Equilateral triangle, scalene triangle, and isosceles triangle. Okay. So these are the three classifications of triangles depending on its sides. Okay, students. And depending on its angles, it has also three respective parts. It is acute angled triangle, acute angled triangle, obtuse angled triangle, and right angled triangle. So these are the three classifications. So basically we have two types of divisions depending on its sides and angles. Depending on its sides, we have equilateral triangle, scalene triangle, and isosceles triangle. And depending on its angles, we have acute angle triangle, obtuse angle triangle, and its right angle triangle. So let us first discuss. It is just a revision, or we are just revising the known concepts or the known knowledge. So equilateral triangle. What do you mean by equilateral triangle? Equilateral triangle means it has its three sides equal. That means if ABC will be a triangle, its three respective sides will be equal. And moving on to scalene triangles, in scalene triangle we have that its three different sides will be different. The sides of the three that is the value of the three, measurement of the three sides of a triangle will be different in case of scalene triangle. Okay. And moving on to isosceles triangle. In isosceles triangle we have two sides equal. Okay, in isosceles triangle we are having two sides as equal. The measurement of these two respective sides will be equal in case of isosceles triangle. Okay, so equilateral triangle means it has three sides equal, and in scalene triangle we have three sides will be different, and in case of isosceles triangle will be having its two sides equal. Okay, so these are the definitions on triangles depending on its sides. Now let us go to triangles depending on types of triangles depending on its angles. Let us first go to acute angled triangle. In acute angled triangle, say suppose let ABC be a triangle, and these three respective sides of the triangle, angles of the triangle will be less than 90 degrees. Say suppose it will be 60, it will be 45, and it will be also less than 60. That means in acute angle triangle, each angle cannot exceed more than 90. As we know the definition of acute angle triangle. What we know, acute angle triangle means more than 0, less than 90 degree. Okay, so each angle of the triangle cannot exceed 90 degree. In case of obtuse angle triangle, one angle, in case of obtuse angle triangle, in case of obtuse, one angle should be less than 90 degree, but it cannot proceed. That is more than 90 degree, and it cannot proceed 180 degree. Okay, so this is the definition of acute angle triangle. And in place of right angled triangle, we have each one angle must be 90 degree. So this is the definition of right angled triangle. And in case of obtuse angle triangle, we are having each one angle should be more than 0, but more than 90 and less than 180 degrees. So these are the definitions on right angled triangle. Okay, students. Now moving on to the important concept of the chapter, that is congruency of triangles. So let us go to the congruency of triangles. So let me first discuss what do you mean by the term congruency. What does this congruence means? It means equal figure whose shapes and size are both same. So if we are assuming two respective figures, say suppose here I am assuming two respective figures, that is triangles, as we are having a concept on triangles itself. So congruency means in triangle ABC and in triangle PQR, say suppose, its shapes will be same and also its size will be same. In that case, we will be having that, we can say that the two respective figures are in congruency. That means these two respective figures are congruent. Here see, the side AB is of length 2 cm, also the side PQ is of length 2 cm. Also AC equals to 4, PR equals to 4 cm and BC equals to 5.2, QR equals to 5.2. Here see, the two respective figures are of same shapes. Also the respective measurements are also same. In that case, we can say that the two respective figures are congruent. And students, how can we write this congruency? We can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, so the sign of congruency is, you have to make equal sign first and you have to make in that way. This is the sign of congruency. Okay, students. So now, to prove the congruency in two respective figures, or as an application form, when we are going to apply this congruency, we have some criteria or we have some rules. So let us go to that respective rules. So moving on to this rules or criteria, we have 5 different criterias for proving congruency of triangles. Okay, so these are side angle side rule, side rule, angle side angle rule, and angle side rule, and the last one is your right angle hypotenuse side rule. So to prove a congruency on the chapter, we have to follow any of these 5 respective rules to follow this congruency. That is to prove this congruency in two respective triangles. So let me discuss these 5 respective rules one by one. Okay, so here see, we are first discussing the first rule, that is side angle side rule. Okay, so for this, as we have to prove congruency in two respective triangles, we are assuming two triangles as triangle ABC and let it be triangle PQR. We need to prove congruency on these two respective triangles. Okay, students. So here the first rule is, we need to prove this congruency by the rule side angle, by the criteria or rule side angle side, this SAS rule. Okay, so in this figure, it is given that the side AB is equal to side PQ and the side BC is equals to side QR. Also one angle is been equal. Here what is the angle? That angle B is equals to angle Q. Here, so as these two triangles are satisfying the SAS rule, that is side AB is equals to side AB is equals to side PQ given in the figure itself, and BC is equals to QR and angle B is equals to angle Q. So we have satisfied these 3 respective criteria of the first rule. So we can say that these two respective triangles, how to write this congruency? The sign is this, that is triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. How we have proved? By SAS rule. Okay, so you need to write in the bracket. So this is the way that we need to prove the SAS rule. Okay, so moving on to the second rule or the criteria is your side rule. Okay, that is side rule. Similarly, we are given with the figure. I am naming it the figure again. It is ABC and PQR. So here also it is given in the figure itself. AB is equals to side PQ, BC is equals to side QR, and side AC is equals to side PR. Here again we are satisfying with the 3 criteria, so we can say that the two respective triangles are congruent. By what rule? By SAS rule. So this is the that is the definition, that is the overall meaning of this second rule. Moving on to the third rule, that is angle side angle rule. Again here we are given with the 2 respective triangles as triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Here again, as we need to prove 2 angles and 1 side, we are given with angle B is equals to angle Q, angle B is equals to angle Q, angle C is equals to angle R, angle C is equals to angle R. Again angle that is side BC is equals to side QR. So we are having these 3 respective things in the given figure itself. So we can say that again the 2 respective triangles are congruent by ASA rule. Okay, students. So this is your third rule. Moving on to fourth rule, that is your angle side. Angle AAS rule. AAS rule, that is angle side rule. Again we are having 2 respective triangles as ABC and triangle PQR. here also we are having angle A is equals to angle P. We will be writing this angle A equals to angle P. Again, one more angle is equal, angle B is equals to angle Q. Angle B is equals to angle Q, and in the last we are having the side AC. Side AC is equals to side PR. This will be given in the question itself, students. So as we have satisfied these three things, we can say that by the fourth rule, we can say that the two respective triangles are congruent by AAS rule. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now moving on to the last rule, which is RHS rule, that is right angle hypotenuse side. So for this we have to assume that is the question must carry, or the triangles which we are assuming or which we are given with must be a right angle triangle. Okay, here we are having one right angle triangle as triangle ABC and triangle PQR. Remember students, this rule will only be valid on right angle triangle. Okay, so here we are having obviously one right angle and one hypotenuse respective with both the triangles. Okay, so here one angle must be 90 degree. That means the triangle, the two triangles which we will be having must be a right angle triangle. So here angle B will be equals to angle Q because it is both is 90 degree, isn't it? Once this criteria satisfies, also the hypotenuse AC will be equals to hypotenuse PR given in the question itself. So we can say that the two respective triangles are congruent again. By what rule? By RHS rule. Okay students, so these are the respective five theorems, that is, or the five respective rules of the criteria of, that is, for proving congruency. Now after that we are having one more important thing, which is your CPCT rule. Okay, so this is the important, again one more important rule of the congruency. Here we are having, so let us first know what is the definition, what is the full form of this CPCT. CPCT means corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So this rule will only be valid after the congruency. After proving congruency, we will be having this CPCT rule. So what does this CPCT rule says? Whenever you are finished with the congruency of two respective triangles, that is, say suppose here triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay students, that is triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. So by this CPCT rule, what does this CPCT rule says? That is corresponding parts will also be equal by the rule of CPCT. So this will be only, we have to utilize this after the congruency. So after this congruency, say suppose in these two respective triangles we are having AB will be equals to, this side AB will be equals to side PQ. By what? By CPCT. Okay, so same goes with the two respective sides. Remaining side, that is BC will be equals to QR, or AC will be equals to PR, that is its corresponding sides will be equal by CPCT rule after proving the congruency. So this is the one important thing that you need to understand in the chapter. Okay, so after that we are having some properties of triangles. So let us go to that thing. We are having some properties of triangles, that is, which will be working on isosceles triangle especially. So what we have learned in the definition, that isosceles triangle is what? When its two respective sides will be equal. So in isosceles triangle, what is the property? Let me read it out and we will explain it out. So what is the the property says? The property says that angles opposite to equal sides of an isosceles triangle are equal. Okay, so it has been said that in the triangle we know that in isosceles two respective sides are equal. So what has been said? Angles opposite to equal sides of a triangle will be always equal. So here the two respective sides which are equal are AB and AC, isn't it? So here the two sides are which are equal are, let me say that it is AB and AC. So what is the opposite angle of the side AB? The opposite angle of side AB will be your angle C, isn't it students? And what will be the opposite angle of the side AC? The opposite angle of side AC will be your angle B. So by the property, what does it says? That the angles which are been opposite to the respective two equal sides of an isosceles triangle will be equal. So from here, what can we say? That angle B will be equal to angle C. This is the property. Angles opposite to equal sides of an isosceles triangle are equal. This has been said in the theorem. Okay, so the converse of it's also there. That is only the inverse. What does this inverse says? The inverse says that side opposite to equal angles of a triangle are equal. Okay, so let me say that here the two respective angles are equal. That respective two angles may be, let it be AB and angle B and angle C. If this angle B and angle C will be equal, then the sides which will be opposite to the respective angles, at equal angles, will be equal in length. Here, what is the opposite side of that angle C? The opposite side will be your side AB, isn't it? And what will be the opposite side of angle B? It will be obviously AC. So these two respective sides will be equal according to the inverse of the property. So these are the two respective properties of a triangle, mainly an isosceles triangle, that angles opposite to equal sides of an isosceles triangle are equal, and the inverse of that is the property is side opposite to equal angles of a triangle are equal. Okay, so let us go to the last concept or the property you can say in the chapter, that is your inequality of a triangle, that is, or inequality in a triangle. So what does this property says? Suppose we are having one triangle, I am naming it as XYZ. So what does this property says? That angles opposite to longer side is larger. That is, angle opposite to longer side is larger. So in the triangle ABC, what is my longer side? My longer side is obviously that is XZ, side XZ. So what is the opposite angle of side XZ? Obviously it has been clear in the figure that the angle is angle Y. So here in triangle XYZ, we may say that angle Y is the larger angle, because here in the triangle the longest side is your side XZ, and what is the opposite angle of this side XZ? Obviously this angle Y. So angle Y will be your larger angle in the triangle XYZ. This is the property. Moving on to the second property, which is the last property, is what has been said: side opposite to longer angle is side opposite to larger angle is longer. This is the inverse of this previous property. What has been said, as it is in the figure PQR, that is in triangle PQR, we can obviously say that angle Q is the larger angle. So side opposite to that larger angle, here say suppose angle Q is the larger angle. What is the opposite side of this angle? Obviously this side will be side PQ. So side PQ will be the side opposite to the larger angle. Here my larger angle is angle Q, and the side opposite to angle Q is side PQ. So side PR. So side PR will be your longer side in the that is a triangle PQR, as it is opposite to the larger angle, isn't it? So these are some respective concepts and the properties in a triangle which you need to clarify before starting the theorems or the chapter. I hope it is clear to everyone. Thank you.